Om Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatye Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha Om Sri Tapavana Sishyaya Namaha Hari Om. So let us chant the Shanti Patha for Ishavasya Upanishad. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. We have completed 3 mantras of the Ishavasya Upanishad. First 3 mantras. Before you go to 4th mantra, 3rd mantra highlights the importance of the Jnana. It says, those who do not pursue the spiritual knowledge path or realize the self and live in ignorance are as though in the realm of devils. Even if they have done lot of punya through dharmic activities such as rituals, pujas and all these things, yet have not recognized the truth. Such people will still float in the sensuous worlds, and they have as though destroyed their full potential. Basically, it is saying self-realization is essentially the absolute happiness. The happiness that we attain in Swargaloka or Indraloka, whatever you call it, is only sensuously determined. And it is limiting. Whereas spiritual realization is the connection to the infinite self itself. So those who do not reach that are as though they have killed themselves. Atma hanaha. It uses strong language. 3rd mantra. Now the question is, what is that blessed Atma? You're talking such a big, such glorious words, the Atma, the glorious words. Of course, you started saying Isha. Now you are saying Atma Hanaha, Atma. I know you are equating both of them, which is the intention anyway. But what is that blessed Atma? You have not said that so far. You have only said, see everything in him. Ishavasya Vidam. See everything in him. So here one important point I want to make before you go. See everything in him is different from seeing everything through him. There's a difference. See, Brahmarpanam, Brahmavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam, Brahmakarma Samadhina. In Bhagavan Shankaracharya's Bhasha, he writes, everything is Brahman. Don't, Brahman alone is everything, appears as everything. Don't say object is also Brahman. Then object has reality, Brahman also has reality. Two, no, there is not two, there is only one. Brahman alone, within him, everything appears. So realized person realizes he is all pervading infinite self in which everything appears and disappears. When it doesn't appear, he is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. When it appears, he is Savikalpa Samadhi. But he is not attached to them. Pure being. It's very important. So now this point is going to be highlighted. What is Atman? It's going to be explained now. These four mantras, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, these are classics. I mean, not enough cannot be said in words because such classics are very rare. Gold, it's a golden word, mantras. Bhagavad Gita also uses the same language in some contexts. You know, in chapter 9 Bhagavad Gita, somebody recently has mentioned it. That's correct. It's similar language comes. Hamat, son of is very sorry. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina, same kanka. So let me read that mantra number 4. Yes. Ane Anejadekam manaso javiyaha nainat deva apnuvan purvamarshat tadhavatonya natyeti tishtatu tasminnapo matarishva dadhati. Anejadekam manaso javiyo nainat deva apnuvan purvamarshat tadhavatonya nanye natyeti tishtatu tasminnapo matarishva dadhati. This uses very, very interesting language to make the point. Who is self? What is self? Atma. Literally, Atma means myself as I am. I is the Chit principle, am is the Sat principle. That's all. Now, what it is, it's saying, Anejadekam manaso janiyaha. Anejat. First, I will explain the literal meaning and then gradually I will try to get the big picture because it requires a lot of concentration and willingness to expand. Because the Upanishad Rishi is out of infinite love, he is trying to take us to his Swarupa. Anejat, the Atma, we talk about Atma, you and I, as we are, as consciousness and awareness being, as such. Anejat, it does not move. It does not move. Ekam, it alone is. Nothing else exists. Ekam means all pervading oneness. Manaso javiyaha. It is faster than the mind. Now, a question is, are you trying to fool me? You started off saying, Anejat, it does not move. Immediately, in the same breath, you are saying, Manaso javiyaha. It is faster than the mind. Na enat deva apnuvan purvam arshat. Enat, this particular Atman, Devaha na apnuvan. Devaha means the senses, the sense powers. Because they are Jyotanatva, they have illumining capacity. I see something because my mind, my eyes have the illumining capacity, I can witness that. So, Dhotanatvad Deva. So, these senses, na ena deva apnuvan, they could not reach it. Because Purvamarsha, it already reached. Next line. Tadhavataha anyan atyeti tishtat. Tishtat means standing without moving. Dhavataha, everything that moves, anyani, atyeti. It goes faster than the everything else, but standing. Asminnapo matarishva dadhati. In the past, I mentioned this Upanishad takes a very technical meanings for many words by context. So, apaha means in common language, apaha means water. But in this context, Shankaracharya in Bhashya also writes Upanishad, because this Upanishad has such amazing language. All the beings, asmin, tasmin, in that principle of consciousness and awareness and existence principle, all the activities of the jivas, Matarishva means Hiranyagarbha dadhati. He controls, manages, he regulates, gives, manages. Now don't forget, who is that blessed Atma? You and I, in its purest being, as it is. Swarupa. I will take up the explanation of this mantra in two levels. First, actually 3 levels. First, literal meaning I have said. Now, a common understanding, which is very important to kind of get a intellectual understanding, is important. That I will take next. In the last one, if time permits, we will also examine how you can be that. By connecting ourselves with the totality of existence, consciousness, presence. Some Bhashagaras have explained that nicely. So I got the privilege to read some of those. So I will take that. So literal meaning I first covered. Now the intellectual understanding is also important. Before you actually feel it yourself, ourselves rather, intellectual understanding is also extremely important because that makes it kind of less complicated. So like intellectual understanding, we will take it. According to Vedanta Shastra, we have to learn basics. We have talked about in the previous classes also. Here also I will briefly go over. What is Anatma Atma? Anatma means that which is different from Atma. Now don't again misunderstand this terminology. In simpler language, to understand that is I and it. You take it like that. It makes less complicated. I and it. Now, the nature of I is consciousness and existence. So it is a seer, whereas it is always its qualities it cannot see. It is only seen. Drushyam. I is a druk. Number one. These are covered in the past, but in the total context, for intellectual understanding, we need this revision. Number two, I as such has no properties. Nirguna. Imagine you are pure being. You know, you are aware. It has no properties. Until you attach to mind or mind in the body, it has no properties. It by itself is propertyless, nirguna. If you say I am sad, you are attached to your mind. If you say I am tall, you attach to your body. But if you withdraw, you are nirguna. Whereas everything that is seen, it has properties. Mind has properties, body has properties, the world you see has properties. You age, mind changes, next. Vikara. Everything anatma is vikara. Vikara means changing constantly. Wave, up and down, birth and death, happy, unhappy, like this. So many things changing. Whereas Atma is nirvikara. As all-pervading existence, consciousness, all-pervading word I added because it is nirguna. When it has no guna, then it is all-pervading. Okay, I added that word, but just it has no decay or it has no change. It does not grow or it does not. Whereas Atma is eternally same. As consciousness, existence, eternally same. Whereas Anatma is transient, waking, dreaming, deep sleep. These are all related to mind. So if you put all these four together, you can actually, in simple language, Anatma is Desa Kala Vastu Parichinna. Parichinna means it is broken into either limited space, limited time, and limited by dimensions. Vastu. This is different from that, that is different from that. Whereas Atma is not. As you, by yourself, without any identifications, you are the same at the time of birth or now. Shankaracharya, Dakshinamurti Stotram, he says this. And it will continue. Okay, it has no birth, this is not death. Now, with this background, I want kind of some of these we discussed in the past classes, but in this background, now we go to the sloka mantra. So, as I am my essential nature, Swarupa, it is called. There is no it in this. It is means something other than me. So there is no it in it. Idam is not there. Idam limits me. When there is no idam, I become not finite. can say infinite. Infinite means maybe suddenly you might get a shock, but it's not finite. Finitude belongs to it. So the Swarupa is all pervading and it is your own nature. Okay. So with this, now go back to the mantra. Because for intellectually, you have to grasp the mantra first. Anejat. If it is all pervading and it is not broken by time, space, and vastu objects, then what it is? Anejat. It cannot move like space. Very beautifully, this can be explained in terms of waves and ocean. As ocean, as water, it does not move. Everywhere, water only is there. So, as the essential nature of you, you don't move. Number one. Now, essential nature of ocean is water. From the point of the water, there is no movement. Ekam. Water is only one. You and I, as ourselves, before we identified with the ideas, perceptions, body, mind, intellect, we are ekam. Whatever you were at the time of childhood, middle age, old age, and after us, only ekam. As anekam is plurality, that is it. It's not aham. So manaso janivaha. Janiyaha, I'm sorry. Manaso janiyaha. Faster than the mind. Why? Because mind is within consciousness. What is mind? It is Chidabhasa. It's a reflected light. Light itself is Atman. Shiva. In presence of Shiva, Shakti is dancing. Shakti is, you are also part of Shakti, but without Shiva, Shakti is not even operate. It's like I'm carrying a pot, empty pot. I went to the market, bought a pot. Now pot has space in it. Yes. Now I am carrying it. The question is, am I carrying the space also with it? Pot space? No. Why? Space was already there. Within space, pot was built. But you are, by identification with the pot, you forgot space was already there before. Our tendency is to say, yes, part space is also moving, but no. Within space, part is moving. So, so upadhi makes you that confusion, creates that confusion. Now you go to the other example, ocean and waves. Waves are moving, but water is not moving. Water appears as moving because we are looking through the angle of wave. Look through the angle of water, that is I am. You are Shiva. Right now. Don't invoke ideas. What is Shiva? Don't think about definitions anymore. Because you are already past such stage, that is mental. So I'm repeating it. Mind only travels within time and space, but time and space arise in consciousness. So when you are sleeping, do you know time and space? But consciousness is there because you know there's nothing there. So all pervading presence is already there wherever mind goes. Because without that, mind cannot operate. Without the illumination, Jiva cannot exist. Jivatva is borrowed from God with consciousness. So Jivatva, wherever it goes, Chaitanya is already there. Nainat Deva Apurvan Purva Marsha. Now, some people ask this question, why did they take Manas? Why don't not take everything? There's so many things. You can say rocket, you can say aeroplane. Manas is considered to be very, very fastest. Then if you take the fastest, then there's no need for anything smaller. you know, there is a interesting nyaya for this. That nyaya is called Prathama Mallanna Nyaya. If you go for a wrestling match, if you go and defeat the best, then you don't need to compare with anybody else. After that, you don't need to fight with anybody else. It's called Prathama Mallanna Nyaya. So using that mind, Bhagavan in his Bhashya writes, within seconds it will go to Brahmaloka from here, just by thought. Now, in Brahmaloka itself arises within consciousness. So, it's already there, consciousness is already there. So, that is happening. Nainat Deva Apunan Purvamarshat. Now, what about the senses? You already talked about Manas. Now, senses depend upon the Manas. But in metaphorically, they also mentioned, because senses are considered to be, they have illumining power. But Atma gives them illumining power of the senses and the mind also. Natatra Suryo Bhadra Chandra Tarakam. We chant in the Arati. Everything is already illumined by God Himself. So what is this? Chandra is Manas, Surya is intellect. Tadhavato Anyan Atyeti Tishtha. Now, this is Desakala Vastu Aparichinna, your eye. Not it, mind and body, don't look to it. That eye as it is Desakala. So, Atyat Tisthat, by being in itself, all pervading, being and aware, essential presence. Sitting in itself, it goes faster than everything, dhavataha, everything that runs. See, it's like a race. The Upanishad metaphorically has taken the example of running race to show you are here and you are also there. Next mantra I will say that, but you are everywhere. Samatva. As Swarupa, you are everywhere. Swarupa means your essential nature. You are already everywhere. The next statement is extremely fantastic. Asminnapo matarishva dadhati. Tasmin, in this I, again, when I show my hand and say I, your immediately your ahankara will kick in. No. That I that is supporting even ahankara, even the mind, even the body, in which body, mind, ahankara, katrutva, bhotrutva all appear and then give life to them. That I is actually the essential power behind Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is the creator of the whole universe. He is Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, all the three he has. By Kriya Shakti, he gives prana, Sutratma. By Jnana Shakti, Rupa. And then function. All these things are created based upon our karma, previous karma. He knows. He also is Tasmin. In him, even Hiranyagarbha, in him means you and I, as at our true nature, infinitude. when you do not do Atmahanaha, when you don't limit yourself to the body, mind, and intellect, and be as you are as Atman, in that everything operates. And yet you are not touched by it because you are Desekala Vastu Aparichinna. Bhagavan Krishna says in chapter 13. So, intellectually, it is like all pervading water, which is the essence of ocean as well as waves. From the point of view of the waves, there is movement. From the point of view of the ocean, there is bigness. From the point of view of water, there is no bigness, there is no movement, only water is there. So that is the meaning intellectual. So in Swarupa means your true nature versus your borrowed nature. Borrowed nature, when dropped, you are not finite anymore. So these 4 points it made. The 4 points are Ekatvam, all pervading Swarupa. It is awareness, as awareness, consciousness. Everything is supported by it, and everything operates within it. Metaphorically, then it is also the support of the whole universe as Hiranyagarbha. Now, before I go to the more personal touch, I will read a little bit of Bhagavan Bhashya, and then I will go to that. So here, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he says, Anejat na ejat, does not move. Yeju company, it comes from Dhatu Yeju company. Kampanam chalanam swa avastha prachuti. He defines any movement. See, there's a lot of mathematics in it. Any movement is an indication of decay. His words are amazing. Tad vachitam, tad, that it is not there, it's not there. Therefore, sarvada ekarupam ati iti arthaha. Therefore, it is only one changeless is the meaning. Tatcha ekam sarvabhuteshu. Now he puts his twist in it. He says, Tatcha ekam sarvabhuteshu. That is also oneness in everything. Manasaha sankalpa vikalpa lakshanat javiyaha java vattaram. Why did you take manas? Because it is the fastest. Java vattaram. Superlative. Java, Javiya, Javistha. Okay, a question comes here. Why did you take Javavattaram Javiya? Why did you take the fastest? Because he says, because we are already comparing with the fastest. So it's faster than fastest. So Javiya is appropriate. This is the technical meaning. Prashna, then a question is asked here. Sir, Kadham Viruddham Uchate Dhruvam Nishchalam Idam Manasaha Javiha iti cha. The question is, why are you talking like this? On one hand, you says it does not move dhruvam. On the other hand, you are saying it is moving faster than the mind. Here he says, simple. Nirupadhi upadhi matvena upapattehe. He only uses one simple sentence, but there is tremendous meaning in this. So from the point of view of the upadhi, it has movement. Upadhi means manifested, limitation, limited entity in the totality. From the point of the upadhi, the manifestation, it has movement. But from the point of nirupadhi, which is a totality, there is no movement. So if you look at from the point of the wave, you forgot water. Basically, that's the problem. Upadhi means there are two or three meanings. In the context, we have to take it. So upadhi means that which is sitting on something. So this is the book. Can you see that? On the book, I am sitting something. This is the adhisthana. This is the upadhi. Sitting on there. Adhisthana, upadhi. The two things. Adhisthana is the support. Upadhi is the appearance on it. Here, that's what. Now, question is, I will go to the last portion of it because there's a lot of technical information. Yasmat javanat manasaha api purvam arshad purvameva gatam vyomavat vyapitvat. Why does it go faster than the mind? Because it is already all pervading like space. It is not broken up. See, this language, you have to own it. You have to feel within you the world is. You are not the world. Our Gurudev, we are the privilege to arrange his talks in 1993, of 1992, 1993, 1991 talks. 1993, when he visited, he gave pravachan on chapter 7 Bhagavad Gita. Jnana, Vijnana, Yoga. It's an unbelievable chapter. In that chapter, he told, he said, if you don't learn anything during every week, every day, we're getting 1,000 people those days. Those days, 1,000 people is unheard of. All the way from New York, Pennsylvania, from New Jersey. It's arranged in right middle of New Jersey. We arrange the talks. Auditorium had the capacity of 1,000, full capacity. 1993. Those days, that many Indians were. But Bhagavan's grace, his presence was like that. He said, if you don't understand the message, because but one thing you remember, world is in you, you are not in the world. That's the message of Vedanta. World rises in you and dances, but you are not touched by it. Unless you stoop down and become a body or intellect, or the body. Then world becomes different from you. So the principle is world rises in you, you are not the world. World appears in you, you are not. If you get that sense, you got the, just start with that. Sarva samsara dharma varjitam swena nirupadhikena स्वरूपेण अविक्रियम एव सत् उपाधिकृताः सर्वाः संसार विक्रियाः अनुभवति इति अविवेकिनां मूढानाम् अनेकम् इव च प्रतिदेहं प्रत्य अवभासते इति एतत् आह. If you take from the angle of upadhi that is appearing within, then upadhi krutaha sarvaha samsara vikriyaha, all the problems of the world, samsara changes, they get you, you are bound by it. Then anekam iva, pratideham, separateness, every body is separate. Prati avabhasate, it appears to you. Then this last paragraph, highlights only I'm reading. Tasmin, see, this is the essential. In that essential oneness that you and I are, Tasmin, in that Atma Tattve, in the essential trueness of our being, Tasmin Atma Nitya Chaitanya Swabhave, that which is essentially pure consciousness, awareness, being, मातरिश्वा मातरि अंतरिक्षे स्वइति गच्छति इति मातरिश्वा वायु सर्व प्राणभूत क्रियात्मकः यदाश्रयानि कार्यकरण जातानि यस्मिन् भूतानि प्रोतानि च यत् सूत्र संज्ञकं सर्वस्य जगतो विधारयितृ सह मातरिश्वा. That Matarishwa Hiranyagarbha, who is operating the whole universe within him, is within you. He explained, Apaha karmani praninam cheksta lakshanani. He's saying all the beings, apaha means water, but he took the contextual meaning, those in which all activities take place. He said. What activities? Now he's talking about prana, not that's you and me, including the whole universal activities. Every vibration, every movement, every activity he taking Shankaracharya. He says, Agni Aditya Parjanyadinam Jvalana Prakashabhivarshadhi Lakshanani Tadhati Vibhajati iti Ardha. He's saying even moon, sorry, Agni, fire, Aditya, even sun, Parjanya, all the movement of the clouds and their activities. What are their activities? Jvalana, Agni Jvalana. Aditya, Prakasha, Parjanya, Abhivarsha, Adilaksha. All these things are dadhati. In your awareness, consciousness, they are all functioning. See, look at his bhasha. When he says, we got. Whew, this is how powerful he writes. Shankara's bhashya is very, 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 very unbelievable. You know. So he says, when he talks, people say, Sarala Gambhira, his bhashya is very, very simple. Those who know Indian languages, generally they can understand, they can make sense out of the words. Sarala, simple. So Shankaracharya started writing at 12 years. So he's already in simple language. Gambhira. He does not back off. He always says what is absolutely to be stated. Don't compromise, because when you compromise, you put your own twist into it. So he always uncompromising, Gambhira and Sarala. That is his style. That's why once in a while we read main points, it is really a privilege. So here, in the world itself is a product of movement. That movement can be grassified like body or moving in time. Of course, body is also moving in time, but it's grassified. But moving in time more faster actively in the as mind or intellect. Now, Vedanta Shastra literally says all the movements are possible in a substratum. Now, field theory says same thing. Within the field, electrical field, photons come. With electron field, vibration is electron. Like that, that a neutron field, a vibration that comes up is neutron, like that. But Vedanta Shastra talks about it in a very, very comprehensive way. All of them. Anything you take. is an appearance in consciousness. Now let's go to the third level. We have about 10 minutes. Basically, as I and you isolate yourself from movements. What remains is you as consciousness, awareness, presence. At that state, you are now, Vedanta Shastra very clearly is saying that fundamental level is like space. Non-fundamental is the effect, which is the upadhi, body, mind, intellect. Upadhis operate in past, present, and future. Borrowing the, so if you now invoke a thought or go into the past, I had difficulty in computer science when I was undergraduate student, whatever, past. Now you give a form to it in your mind, and then you, with that form of difficulty is the form, and then with that, then you create a certain degree of anxiety or kriya. And that form also you have a name, computer science problem. Nama Rupa Kriya is effect in the mind either from the past or projecting in the future. So Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman Tektva Sarvan Aseshataha. Sri Krishna says chapter 6. All the Sankalpas are the past and the future. Drop them. Then what happens? You become space-like, unlimited, because past is dropped, future is also dropped. The present is all-pervading oneness. You are not broken the mind now anymore. Now here, very important point here. When you have become all-pervading space-like awareness, that is Sat. As awareness here, you lend Sat to the mind and intellect. Sat means existence. But when you drop this, now only space becomes Sat and Chit. Called Chidakash. That is number 2. And number 3, objective existence arises out of this. Be it be your wife, be it your son, be it your problems. Then you suddenly, by being my son, all these things, you already identify the body. You dropped it. So everything as universal space in which everything appears. Not as reality, but as appearance in you. How Sat, you lend Sat to it. And that Sat includes Chit. Chit means activity, knowledge. When you remain as such, you are all pervading infinite right now. That is Nirvikalpa Samadhi, according to Vedanta Shastra. You can feel it when you are not fully woken up. When you are meditating, you can realize that as you are. But when you also see objects, but you know they are arising in you as ease, that easiness is borrowed from you. Krishna says, chapter 2, verse number 16. Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. Everything that appears is borrowed from you. That appears has no reality itself to start with. Bhayorabhi dushtentaha tattvadarshana. Those who know both, appearance is not is in me, but I am not the appearance. That person knows. Chapter that verse itself is total Bhagavad Gita kind of. Similar thing. That who says karmani akarma karma akarma karma verse chapter 4. Who sees no movement in movement, but at the same time not get attached to it. That's what our Gurudev was telling when he said, world is in you, you are not in the world. Is it possible experientially? Yes. But is that experience or it is you? It is you. That's the difference. When you say experience, you are looking for something. Then you are become controlled by indriyas and senses. This is beyond senses. If you are looking to the mind, but it is mind cannot reach it. So mind is not there. So you already dropped mind and perceptions and intellectual ideas. They cannot reach it. Why? Because they bring you down. This is the point. So Vedanta basically fundamentally it's saying is you isolate yourself at Chit. Because you can grab onto Chit. Because you know I am alive. But then don't look my life through my body or my prana or by my mind or by my intellect. These are all koshas. Annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, and anandamaya kosha. Deep sleep, karana sarira. You all these things, if you are aware, karana sarira it cannot affect you. You can drop vasanas because you don't react to them. You remain. That's a sadhana also. Some things are bothering you. You got to be a witness to it. That's all. But if you can drop it, then you are already expanded like a akasha. Why? Your nature is not small. That's the important point. You don't forget. Your nature itself is. Now there is a subtle point here, very important point. I will make it. The key aspect of it is there anything in this universe that exists outside you? Okay, let me rephrase the question. There are two objects. Let's say object 1 and then object 2. There are two objects. Now they exist separately, right? Yes, they do. So you say there are two objects. I agree, there are two other objects. Very good. Now let's take one object. Can you ever experience this without consciousness? No. My consciousness has to be there first before I can experience this. Like same thing with this book. So for every experience, what is the common factor? Consciousness. So is consciousness first or object first? If my consciousness is not available, objects are not there. Like in deep sleep. So consciousness is first, object is second. Now if I take consciousness out, do I see object? No. I don't. So what is reality? Consciousness. Everything, everywhere what exists commonly out in all spaces and all times is consciousness. What comes and goes is experience within consciousness. Because it's always there even without objects also. This logic is called, in Vedanta Shastra, it is called Anvaya Vyatireka. It is there, it is there. If it's not there, it's not there. Then what? This is the only thing that is there. That's the conclusion of that. So simpler language, people to understand. Of course, this is you have to own this kind of a thing. You have to feel that you are that free being always there before you become body, before you become mind, before you become intelligence. That freeness, if you hold on to it, these things become slowly and steadily, they become less and less relevant. Then you become secure, free, and peaceful. Kathopanishad also described the same thing. Okay. The train of thought, I will go back. Basically, what it is saying is if two objects exist, they have two possibilities. They are separate. One is different from my book in my hand, separate. Or it can be one thing appearing as two. And but if it is always requires one of the items, then it is the substratum, other is only coming and going. It's like chain and gold. Now bring it down to intellectual level to so that when you reflect upon it, you take an example as a support. A chain and gold, is gold in chain or chain the gold? If you say gold in the chain, you are restricting your thoughts to chain only. All other golden items you drop. But you say chain is in gold, then gold is the substratum, chain is a temporary phenomena. It can be anything, then we are all pervading. So every object that you experience a temporary phenomena, but it has to have the support in which it appears. Without that, if this does not appear, then only that only real. So gold alone is real. What that comes and goes is called upadhi. It has no absolute reality. So that is why the mantra is very beautifully is saying ane anejat, it does not move. Because in which everything ekam manaso javiyaha, manas doesn't have existence without it. So it's faster than manas. Nayanat eva atmavan purvam. Senses also cannot reach it because they are already ahead of senses. Tadhavato anyan atyeti. All the running things remain in it, although it does not move. Whole universe operates within it. This is how powerful this mantra is. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.